So you may have heard of a company called Analogue. They are known for retro clone systems, and if you want a good retro clone system, then you go to Analogue because for the most part, Analogue does make the best retro clone systems on the market. They've made things like the Super NT and the Mega SG, so you can see they're really known for these products. The reason you would actually buy one of their products is because if you want your video games to look the best they can in regards to retro stuff, then you really want to go to them. And the nice thing about Analogue products is the fact that they really wanted to create the authentic experience you would get on something like the original hardware, whereas some companies don't care about their clone systems and they make these emulation based clone systems, and that's not what we have here with Analogue. So Analogue without a doubt does make the best clone systems money can buy. If you want your video games to look the best they can, then you go to Analogue. Well, it looks like today Analogue is making a brand new product, and it looks like Analogue is actually stepping into the realm of handheld gaming for the very first time with a product called the Analogue Pocket. Here is the Analogue Pocket, and the nice thing about the Analogue Pocket is it's pretty much going to play every single Game Boy game under the sun. Keep in mind with a lot of the Analogue products, you do have to have your own games and your own cartridges, so it's not going to be emulation based, it's not going to be ROM based or anything like that. You will have to supply your own Game Boy cartridges, but it's going to play things like the Game Boy, Game Boy Color, and the Game Boy Advance, and that's pretty much awesome. So it's pretty much got all the old Game Boy systems covered when it comes to this Analogue Pocket system, which is going to be nice. Right off the bat, they did already give us a release date for this thing, and we also do have the price of this thing. So they didn't actually say exactly when this is coming out, but they did say it's coming out sometime in 2020. It's already announced. And the thing about this is, as well, it's going to be pretty pricey for what it is. It's going to be $199. So at that $199 price point, you really do have to be a real enthusiast or really a purist about the Game Boys and about handhelds and things like that. Because if you're not a purist, if you don't like the Game Boy or you're on the fence, then this product is probably not for you, just because, well, it's $199, and $199 is very expensive. That's the same price as something like the Nintendo Switch Lite at the very moment, so that is very expensive. And keep in mind, of course, you do have to have your own cartridges, like I said, so you can see the price of this is maybe not justifiable. But then you do keep in mind, I guess, like I said before, Analogue is known to make some high-end stuff, and this product without a doubt is going to be a flat-out high-end stuff. I guess if you already have a collection of a whole bunch of Game Boy games and things like that, then this thing actually might be for you. And the craziest thing about this thing, alongside the fact that it can play Game Boy games, Game Boy Advance games, and Game Boy Color games, so pretty much all the old Game Boy stuff, it'll also play other consoles, which is pretty amazing. It'll play stuff like the Neo Geo Pocket. It'll play stuff like the Atari Lynx and stuff like that. They did say they are going to be releasing adapters for this thing to play other things other than the Game Boy. So pretty much this is going to be a dream come true if you're a big fan of all old handheld gaming stuff. So if you're a big fan of old handheld gaming stuff, then this is really going to be the system for you. And the nice thing about this system as well is, alongside the fact you can play all these different games from the Game Boy to the Atari Lynx to the Neo Geo Pocket and things like that, is also the fact that you can actually play this on the TV. They are going to be releasing a dock for this thing. And the dock for this thing, I'm not sure how much it's going to cost. I don't think we have an actual price for this thing, but the dock is going to allow you to play these games on an actual TV. And the nice thing about this is, as well, especially if you're a YouTuber or a streamer of these games, this may be the best way to actually stream your retro handheld video games in very good fidelity and things like this, because let's face it, Analogue really knows how to make these products, so without a doubt, it's probably going to look amazing on a TV. I know a lot of these consoles already do have kind of a way to plug them in the TV, TV. Like you can get adapters for like the Super Nintendo to play Game Boy games, and then you can get a Game Boy Advance adapter for your GameCube if you want to play those games on the TV. But without a doubt, this is going to be amazing. You can play these games on the go, and then you can play these games on a TV. Of course, this is kind of sounding like the Nintendo Switch at the moment, but either way, this thing does look cool, and it pretty much has the same design as a traditional Game Boy, I want to say, which is pretty cool. And here's some of the specs. Let me see if I can bring up some of the specs. It looks like it's going to have a 3.5 inch 615 ppi screen with an LCD. It's going to have a resolution of 1600 by 1440 for the resolution, which is pretty mind-blowing. And I'm pretty sure when you play all your old handheld video games on this, from the Game Boy to the Atari Lynx to the Neo Geo Pocket and things like that, I'm assuming that all of the games are going to look flat out amazing. They're probably even going to look better than what they did on the original hardware, because like I said, this company Analogue really knows how to make high-end stuff, and this thing is no joke when it comes to their products. And this is now officially, when this thing comes out, gonna be the best way to play these games without a doubt. There'll be no reason to pull up your Game Boy, your Game Boy Advance, your Game Boy Color, all these different handheld systems, because, well, you're gonna get inferior experience when it comes to actually playing these games. Unless you just want to go back and revisit these games the way they were meant to be played, then you'll probably want to pick up those once in a while. But for the enthusiast and for just the overall best product for handheld gaming, it's gonna be the Analogue Pocket when it comes out next year. Again, this thing is coming out 2020 for a price tag of $199. Anyway, guys, this is Wayne from My Tech News, signing out.